Hi, I'm EXO. This is my follow-up video on Firmament. Now, for those who didn't see the original video or need a quick refresher, Firmament is a new adventure game from Cyan, the same people who made Myst back in the day, Riven. They came back recently to Kickstarter. Recently now. It's been quite a while. They did Abduction. And then in 2019, they came asking for some money to do a game called Firmament. There was a lot of excitement around the game. They had done a 25th anniversary Myst Kickstarter that had some really nice physical goodies you could get, including a linking book that actually had a video built into the pages, so you could fly like as if you opened the real Myst book, and you could touch it to change it. Inside were hidden compartments to put the games into. There was an inkwell from Riven you could get. There's some really neat options you could get with this Kickstarter. And so when they announced Firmament and they said that there was a box edition for $130, I jumped on it. They had always done very good quality stuff in the past. And if you go back and look at my video, two things happened. One, they decided last May that they were not going to do a physical edition. That, according to them, over the past 20 years, the games industry has moved away from physical games. And so they were no longer going to do a physical copy of the game anymore, which kind of defeats the point of the box, especially the box you're paying $130 for. It's one thing to buy it's happened to friends before. They buy a game from the store, they get home, and it's an empty case with a code inside to download the game. There's no reason to sell anyone an empty case, but especially when you are buying a collector's physical edition of a game. This isn't like you're paying $30 for the game and you're getting a DVD case and then you get a code to go download it from Good Old Games. This is a $130 box set. So when the game's not actually in that $130 box set, you think to yourself, okay, well, I really hope that the contents of this box make up for it. They didn't. If you go back and watch that video, it was 3 stickers. It was a really bad poster that was only about this big. And it just said, "We are the keepers" on it. Almost everything was bad text, and it seemed really, what I understand is they did a lot of AI generation in it. I know they used it for Abduction too, but they used it more on Firmament. So you get these things that are designed to look like Art Deco propaganda, but they aren't. They're an AI version of Art Deco propaganda. So yeah, there was 3 crappy postcards, 3 stickers, a poster, a letter, and then a little notebook. And the notebook was the only thing of any substance. It was hardback. It had some pages in it. They were all empty though, except for the first one. If you want to see it all, go back and check out the last video, so I'm not wasting your time re-talking about it now. Now, I got on their Kickstarter campaign comments page and started complaining about this, and basically said, look guys, there was a lot of people complaining, but they were not listening. They weren't replying to anybody. So I posted a link to 20 some odd different media outlets with the exact email to reach out to say, hey, I'd like you guys to cover the story of what's going on here. After I posted that, Cyan started reaching out to people in the comments saying, if you backed the game and you only wanted the DVD or the physical copy of the game, then let us know and we'll refund you. Now, the way they worked this out is you had to send everything back you got to Fangamer. Once it was received, they would refund your money, and there was no halving it. You had to return all of it and get all of your money back, or not return any of it. And this past week, it became very clear why they were doing that. You see, let me pull it up here. Here we are at the Kickstarter site. You can see I'm logged in up here. There's my icon. We're going to come down to comments here, and you're going to notice, okay, so Craig here's comment is under review for potentially violating Kickstarter guidelines. As of a few days ago, every comment I had was tagged like this. As of today, every comment I had says, this person has canceled their pledge. The reason Cyan refunded the people who were complaining was so they could have them removed from the campaign and block out all the comments they've ever made. Now, the email I got from Kickstarter today basically said, because you were refunded, you're no longer a backer. However, any comment you made before you were refunded will stand. Every comment you made after you were refunded will be removed. I was refunded 4 days ago. Every comment I've ever made is gone. There's none of them left anymore. And you can easily, like, if you look here, this fellow here has been really watching the video, is really good at helping me, like, great positive comments here. And you can see he's like, hey, posted the two of the more vocal backers that got screwed over by Cyan. All their posts have been removed from the comments board. And then down at the bottom, you can see, P.S. Hey, EXO, check your YouTube comments. At which point they reached out to me over on my last video asking what was going on. Well, at the time I was out of town and I'd seen that my comments were being moderated, but there's not a lot I can do about it. Believe me, between getting my money back on this piece of crap campaign and having the rights to complain about it, I'll take my money back any day. If anything, it shows how shady they are. That they think they can remove all the comments and then that will make this all go away. It doesn't change the fact that they've upset a ton of people. And going and trying to erase all the comments that they have of the people they've refunded doesn't make that go away. I've received multiple emails from people saying, look, I don't like to rock the boat. I'm a relatively quiet person. But I really appreciate the comments you've made calling them out for this. I'm glad to see somebody's doing it. Those people don't get hushed. They don't go away. What they see is, oh, that guy that was talking and that was, getting on here and making a point. And if I hadn't come and complained, I hate to say it, but nobody would have got a refund. So the guy who came and got those of us refunds, now he's been removed. Who does that make look bad? Not me. That does not look good on Cyan that they're pulling that. Now, to put that into perspective here, I've gotten refunded on multiple Kickstarters in the past that have screwed around. And I have not been removed from any of their backer pages, which means this was planned. They decided, okay, we have got a few vocal people. It's cheaper to refund them and get them kicked out than it is to actually address the situation or deal with the potential fallout of this. Well, this didn't make nothing went away. At the end of the day, Cyan didn't fix anything, okay? They didn't put out the physical copy of the game that they promised. And if we come over to rewards here, let's do this again. I talked about it in the last video. But you come down here to the limited box game, you get an exclusive Firmament Special 90s Vintage Boxed Edition, created in partnership with Fangamer. The box will contain a DVD, Windows, along with a few other exclusive printed goodies that will not be available after the campaign. Oh no! You mean I can't get 3 piece of shit stickers after the campaign? Whatever will I do? I can't get a poster that was folded up this small that unfolds to this big? That says, we are the keepers after the campaign? Before I sent the box back, one of my comments that got removed is I said, you know what? I went on eBay to see, can I flip this for any more than I bought it for? The answer is no. At the time I checked, there were 2 for sale. They will not sell. Why? Because one of them is listed for $2,000. And one of them was listed for $1,991 or 93. I think it was a play on the fact that Mist came out in 93. So I went and clicked on Show Me Sold Copies. 1 box copy of Firmament has sold on eBay, and it went for $27. This person bought it for $120, and it sold for $27. Why didn't they return it? Why did they sell it on eBay? I don't get it. But, yeah, I would much rather get my money back from these clowns. Yeah. Look, at the end of the day here, guys, Cyan is in the wrong. They promised a physical copy of the game. They didn't deliver it. When people called them out for it, they refused to fix it. They just ignored it. When someone showed up and said, hey, this is how you get heard, right to Kotaku, right to Polygon, right to Rock, Paper, Shotgun, right to all these different outlets and say, hey, I backed this game. This is what they promised. This is what they gave me. And that caused them to say, oh, you want a refund? And, the problem with the way they did it was there are certain people who They didn't like the box, but they still wanted a copy of the game. Or they might have, there were people that pledged at really high tiers that wanted some of what they got, but they weren't happy with the box or the fact that it didn't come with a physical copy of the game. People, Cyan, I'm talking to you. People don't buy boxes because they want a game code. When you bought that when you bought that physical copy of the game, they gave you a code that you could redeem on Good Old Games to get a digital copy. And when they decided to pull the physical copy out, you know what they replaced it with? Another code for a copy on Good Old Games. What the fuck do you do with two codes? What do you can't cash two in. Last I checked, you cannot buy the same game twice on Good Old Games. You can't do it. So you give it away? I mean, you don't keep it in the box, clearly. It doesn't do you any good in the box. If all these games behind me had digital codes in them, I wouldn't have them. They'd be kindling for my fire. The whole point in owning these games is I know that they're in there. When I pay $130 for a copy of Firmament, I don't care about the spine sitting on my shelf. I care about the fact that inside that is the game. I mean, all the games you see behind me, I've bought on Good Old Games and Steam multiple times over. I've probably also bought them on disc multiple times over. I have them in Exodus running better than they are here or on Good Old Games. But I like to have the original copy. That's part of what it is to be a collector. When I cared about what Cyan was putting out, I wanted to have a copy of what they were producing. Now, at this point, I'm done. I won't support them anymore going in the future. What I understand is that the company was purchased by a new management group, and everything since then has been downhill. Cyan is not the same people that made Myst back in the day anymore. It's a company that makes subpar first-person point-and-click adventure games that do not run very well in VR, even though they're built for it. And they're using a ton of AI-generated content to fill it out. I encourage you to look at the reviews of Firmament. They're primarily negative. Abduction didn't fare too well either. I encourage you to not support Cyan and any future Kickstarters that they do. They've got no business being on Kickstarter at this point. If they have the management company, they can go get a publisher. And then that publisher can deal with this crap of what they are and they're not producing or promising to people. Let them earn their money. Because at this point, they're not earning it. There's no reason to give them $1 anymore until they've earned that dollar. And at this point, I had to go retrieve my money from them. Money that they took from me and sat on for 4 freaking years. And they gave back to me just so they could delete me from their comment section. Their priorities right now are image. So I'm out here to show exactly what their image is. I'm happy I got my money back. I'm happy anybody else who wanted their money back could get their money back too. I've been really busy for the past 2.5 weeks researching a new video I'm doing. It will easily be my longest video yet. It will be a different format than this kind. Rather than just me talking to you, this new video will be a lot more like what you would see from a professional YouTuber. I am far from that, but I have content anyway, and so I'll have screenshots, I'll have video, I'll have stuff to show you from the campaign I'm coming back with. It's a big story. My research right now is 34 pages long. So I have to cut that down into a non-movie length video. And for all I know, it might be a movie length video. If it is, I'll cut it into different parts and release it over a few days because nobody wants to hear me talking for that long. But I promise you it's an interesting story. It's worth hearing about. And I'm looking forward to getting it put together. It'll easily be the most work I've put into a YouTube video yet. Meanwhile, I'm also still working on my projects. If you check my channel out, you're going to see a lot of stuff on Exodus, Exoscum VM. I have an Apple IIgs project out there. We have a Exo Win 3X project that we work on that's we're about to go into high gear for version 3 on. We have a great Discord community where you're welcome to come and hang out. We talk a lot about retro games, but that's not the only topic. People talk about all kinds of stuff in there. If you want to come and bitch about Kickstarters that screwed you over, come on down. We have a whole bunch of people that Chris Roberts screwed over. I'm one of the only ones he didn't get. And then, of course, you're welcome to check out my website, retroexo.com. There you're going to find my projects. They're all free. There's no money involved on that. You can donate to the project if you choose, but that's not why I'm sending you there. I'm sending you there because if you like games like Firmament, you probably liked Myst. And if you liked Myst, I've got Exo Win 3X up on there. I've got Exodus up on there. Every DOS game, almost 2,000 Windows 3X games running on modern hardware, ready to go. It's all set up. It's got a front end. It's got box cover art, manuals. The game music is there, extras. You know, you play Monkey Island and you got the code wheel. It's all built in for you. It comes up. You can actually move the code wheel around in your HTML browser. We got all kinds of cool goodies in there. Check out my projects if you haven't seen them before. It's retroexo.com, or come over and check out the Discord. The link to the Discord is on the website on the Contact Us page. There's a lot of other media out there too. We got a wiki page. We got oh boy, I lose track of it all. Most of all, though, thanks for watching the video, and please comment down here, guys. I usually don't say that on my videos, but the reason I'm saying to comment is not for my sake. It's not about don't smash like and subscribe. I don't care about that right now. Comment about Cyan if they got you. If you've got something to say, my YouTube comments, they can't purge. They can't delete. Write to any media you can if this bothers you. I know I have. I've reached out to all kinds of media outlets, but the more people that reach out, the more likely someone will cover this. Me bitching about it on my YouTube channel doesn't go that far, guys. I've only got 4,000 subscribers. I'm a little fish in a really big pond. But if Kotaku, I don't even know who's the big one nowadays. The Kotaku doesn't do a lot anymore, do they? They've kind of become more of a general media thing. I don't even know where I get my game news these days. Wherever you get your game news from, reach out to them. Tell them about Firmament. Tell them to check it out. Tell them that they lied about what they were putting out, that they sent out a box full of paper for $120, that when the community complained about it, they offered a handful of refunds and then deleted those users from the campaign. You know, send them this video. They can hear it from my mouth. Just don't get steamrolled, right? My goal here isn't to get more subscribers. It's not just to bitch about Cyan. It's about holding them accountable. And I can only do so much. I can spread word about what happened. I can tell people my side of what they did and how they removed all my comments. But you guys, en masse, are the ones who can write to Kickstarter, to Cyan themselves, to any media outlet you want. Just reach out. Let your feelings be known. And you know what? It doesn't just have to be about this. If you're one of the people who wrote me and said, I don't talk about these things very often, thank you for doing it for me, you can write an email to them the same way you wrote one thanking me. And you don't have to be mean, you don't have to be confrontational, but you can say, look guys, I'm really disappointed in how you handled this. I've been a longtime fan, I was excited about this, and I don't agree with what you did. And it doesn't have to be a threat, it doesn't have to be I'll never buy from you again, or I want my money back. Just expressing your displeasure. It adds up. They get 5 of those, it's like, okay. They get 10 of those, okay. They get 25, 50, 100, 1,000 of those. At a certain point, it scares them. Right now, me and 1 or 2 other people that were complaining about this was enough for them to offer refunds just to get us deleted. That was just 2 or 3 loud people. If 20 or 30 or 40 people came along, you don't have to be loud, you just have to be insistent. That's going to push them past fear and more into, okay, we need to fix this. If you wanted to have a physical copy of Firmament on your shelf, you can't just let them off the hook and be like, oh, well, it's a Kickstarter, you don't always win. This is a company who made $1.2 million off this Kickstarter. They've got the money to print discs. You know how much it costs to print discs? I did the math on the last video. $6,000 to print DVDs. And they don't want to do it. That's how little you're worth to them. Because the industry is going digital. Is it? They say it's a 20-year-old trend. They ran this Kickstarter in 2019. If that was true, they clearly had plenty of years ahead of them. Someone used to tell limited run edition games that the whole world's gone digital because somehow they're over here making money selling physical games in a all-digital world. With that, I'm actually going to go to the store because I got some games to pick up. And you know what? They're physical games. I don't know how they're doing it. No one told the store that we've gone totally digital. Don't tell them. I hope nobody from Cyan calls Best Buy and tells Best Buy that physical games aren't a thing anymore. Thanks for watching, guys.